recording. All right. So the last session of Horizon Zero Dawn, there's two main items that we really picked up on. And the first was we went to confront Olin about what we had discovered, and his, like, both being the reason my village was attacked, and we found out that his family is being held hostage. When we went to go confront him, we discovered that he was being harassed and threatened by a bunch of, I believe they were Shadow Carja, who are trying to revive these machines that they're finding in the ground that are separate from the ones roaming the lands. And these ones they're finding in the grounds were those corruptors that we've seen on occasion that can turn the robots evil for the most part, instead of being just like animalistic. We managed to defeat both the corruptors, the Shadow Carja, and rescued Olin. And we decided to give Olin a second chance, and he's going to meet us to when we try and rescue his family. The other aspect of, we went to go search the site of where Ursa, that was Erand's sister, who was captain of the Carja Guard. We were investigating the slaughter scene, and we noted that there's a whole bunch of blood and weird weapons, I guess the results of weapons testing. But while we were there, we discovered that Oseram had set up some devices to drive some of the robots crazy to try to kill our Aloy and Erand. So now we're trying to wonder why they're trying to frame the Shadow Carja for Ursa's death. But in doing some investigation, Aloy has the theory that Ursa might actually be alive, and that it was because the body that they found that they claimed was Ursa, the face had been destroyed to the point where they couldn't view the face as identification. They only identified her by her armor, but there were scenes where someone's armor had been cut off. And so Aloy believes that someone may have been swapped in her place. So we also need to meet up with Erand back at Meridian to proceed further from there. So I'm going to kick off Horizon Zero Dawn now. And we'll see what our progress should be. No. Come on. Come on. No. Here we go. So as usual, I'm going to cut off the audio and my side image while the game plays. I'll pick back up after a few of the quests. We'll figure out what we do once we get in game.
Shadow Carja ambushed Captain Ursa at the cleft. How did they lure her out there?
Oh, wonderful.
Waste of time. Last week.
So this is as high as we go? Okay.
A Pucka Shitstorm Tour, Day 9. I was setting up my tent right here when Wyatt's call came through. I came as fast as I could, but you'd already slipped into a coma. We never got a chance to say goodbye.
Hi, Ma. My plan to go camping here after the Amos 15 launch. I'd been working overtime for the past 9 months, so I was pretty frazzled and figured I should take a weekend to relax before crunch started up again. I was setting up my tent when Wyatt's call came through. He said it was an emergency. I called a lift spin vert and made it to Denver General in less than 27 minutes. I was too late. You'd already slipped into a coma. I didn't understand how that could be when I told Wyatt to explain. He just kept choking up, waving me towards the care station. So it was a holodoc that broke the news. How you'd been diagnosed a year earlier, the adverse reactions to gene therapy and polymer vascular replacements, the 6 months of mobile dialysis. I couldn't believe you'd kept it all secret from me. And even at the height of the crunch, I called you once or twice a week. So you just sat there listening to me enthuse about my latest project or complain about workplace politics, and all the while you were dying. It didn't make sense. I marched back to Wyatt, cornered him, and demanded that he explain. He said you hadn't want to distract me, and that I was doing important work and needed to focus. You know, as though the latest Atmos or Amos launch and that the palladium and rubidium I'd bring back to Earth mattered more than the Ma who's already here. Wyatt kept saying how proud you were of me, and he even parroted that onwards and upwards phrase of yours. He said I should get back to work. That's what you would have wanted, and that he'd stay at the hospital and keep me informed. I didn't go back to work. I called in. It took arguing my way past 2 supervisors, a labyrinth of automated HR menu, a human resources AI, and an anal defensive benefits executive to activate my personal leave, but I did it. And then I sat at your bedside for the next 7 days. I kept thinking of the hospital after my OD at the amphitheater. Kept thinking that if you came out of the coma, I wanted my face to be the first thing you saw. On the 8th day, they pronounced you dead. After the funeral, I went back to work, but I wasn't really there. I kept telling myself to focus that it was okay to be there, that it was what you would have wanted, after all, onwards and upwards. but my work fell behind. When my supervisor called me in for an emergency review, I told myself to play it cool, accept the criticisms, and promise to do better. It didn't go like that. I snapped and shouted at him, and then broke down, sobbing uncontrollably. 2 minutes and 3 drones later, and I was standing outside the Pharaoh building, blinking in the sunshine, straightening my bunched up clothes. An alert on my focus indicated that I should go home for the day, then report for a disciplinary review on Monday. But I didn't go home. Another idea had risen up in my mind, already fully formed. I guess I'd already been thinking of doing it for a while. I took a lift spin to Pioneer Park, 10 minutes of asking around a truth test to show that I wasn't a cop was all it took to make a connection. I went home with the drugs, started using, and it didn't stop. Duster, snakes, skydive, overcast, no razor wing at least. I didn't take calls, didn't show up for the disciplinary review on Monday morning. A friend stopped by and hammered on the door until I answered it. When he saw what was happening, he staged a one-man intervention. I agreed to go into treatment, but I didn't harbor any illusions. Use of personal leave was bad, but use of psych SA leave, career suicide. Sure, they could legally fire me for it, or they couldn't legally fire me for it, but I'd been around FAS long enough to know that they'd find a way. My career was over. I thought I was at rock bottom, but I was wrong, of course. I still had a long way to fall.
Will cleanse the land of this growing corruption.
Some Oseram girl applied to the city guard the other day.
That Erand told me about.
Every time I go near the statue, Oseram.
You won't get in there. That dried-up old prune in a robe sees to that.
I can be persuasive. But what does an Oseram want with a Carja shrine, anyway?
It reminds me of someone. Gone 2 years now. But what does a girl like you know of loss?
Try me.
I had a lover. Worked on monuments to their bastard king. Then he gave them a show in their sun ring for good measure. The Carja gave me back his broken bones, but what use are they? They won't build again. They won't make me smile.
And seeing a statue of the Mad Sun King will?
I need to see his work again. The marks his hands carved. The set of the metals they hammered. That's the soul of him. But that shriveled up old priest won't let me near it.
I'll see what I can do.
Turn away, child. The abiding Jahaman wishes to be alone in his retreat.
If you want to be alone, go someplace else. Others want to pray here.
Defile it, you mean? Yet another debasement of what was once pure. Truly, our tribe has lost the light. Our king is false, our temple is corrupt, and our soldiers weak. The sun hastens across the sky for shame.
I thought Avad taking the throne was the sun's will.
The boy dishonored his father, dishonored us all. To kill a sun king. What shadow, what twilight time he brought upon us.
And how many more would the mad Sun King have killed if Avad hadn't stopped him?
The sun called for blood. There was no choice but to obey.
So the Carja have become impure? What does that even mean?
Is Meridian not meant for those who built it, who made it great? It was pure before outlander squatters took it over.
You mean Meridian was pure when the outsiders were in cages or dying in your arena?
The sun is pure, child. It is not our place to question its divine will, only to act upon it.
You called the temple corrupt, but aren't you one of its priests?
They call themselves sun priests, but they have no authority, youths and sycophants all. Yet those who gave their whole lives to the sun's service are shamed and ignored.
So that's what this is. A tantrum? A cry for attention?
You know nothing of our rights, and yet you dare to insult me.
Why do you think your army is weak? Because you're not at war with everyone?
A Carja throne relying on forged dirt mercenaries? Preposterous! The so-called liberation was nothing but a purge. Our most blessed warriors, chased out of the city, exiled to Sunfall and the Forbidden West. Our tribe is torn. The ones who walked in light now go by shadow.
And yet everyone but you seems happy they're gone. I'm done arguing with you. Stay or go, but I won't allow you to keep others away.
I am here by the will of the sun.
If you won't accept change, you should try to make peace with it. Your bitterness has poisoned you.
I have no need of your pity.
I wasn't offering it. But if you step aside, you can keep your pride, since it's so important to you.
There'll be a reckoning.
You'll back away from it.
I'd like an opportunity to share a drink with Erand. There's a man who knows how to enjoy life. Is it just me, or do Carja people walk slow? They have places to be.
I miss Mainspring. Charcoal smoke.
He gave them the best work he'd ever do. And look at it now.
They defaced it because they hated what it stood for.
They defaced a thing slaves like him lived and died for. Slaves they've already forgotten. Short-sighted bastards, the lot. If they thought their son set off this bridge, they'd jump after it. I thank you for honoring my wish.
I hope you can find peace.
I wouldn't know what to do with it, any more than the Carja do.
Well, I got a pair of sturdy Osram hands, and I know how to put them to use. There'll always be work for me.
Oseram don't always take kindly to strangers. Keep that in mind.
Need them soon enough. Good. I can use this. This machine has served its purpose.
By the sun, I hope the harvest is better next year.
Don't give me reason to remember. Face it.
Sworn the stall was down here.
They say the corruption has spread far across the Sundom. Can't be true.
Perfect weather for lazing around. Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
Fine good, fine.
Would you like to buy something today?
The sun is displeased with us.
Scroungers! You'll like what I have for sale, I promise.
Scroungers? What kind of brutes are you trying to attract?
We were...
Take a look at these wares.
I brought you both the parts. So, what do you say?
I don't suppose I could buy just the one.
You'd buy the wrong one. So give the hunter her shards for both.
Of course. Here you are. If this is the price I have to pay.
The price you have to pay? The Snapmaw lens might just cover the loss we take on the other.
It won't sell for a loss, charcoal burner. You'd pay handsomely for a long leg lens if you had an imagination.
I have an imagination. When you rattle that piece of junk around, I think of your skull.
I told you from the beginning this wouldn't be a scrap-dealing operation, that we would have class.
And I told you, a true metal seller knows to get his hands dirty.
As you wipe machine oil on my silks.
Who wears a silk apron to the metal market?
Fine goods for a fair price.
Come take a look. I'll give you a good price. These aren't goods, they're necessities.
I can't believe Ursa's gone. Even... Dead, the bastard Erand finds ways to make us suffer.
Regret not stopping when you're in the thick of it.
Won't find better wares.
We don't want any trouble now, do we? No.
Signalings for the trail. These will keep. This is where the Otaru wanted to say her goodbyes. Keep that for later.
When we fled from our cages during the liberation, I tore through this clearing, thinking my friend was behind me. I kept running, but here she remains. Thank you for making it safe for me to return.
I don't want to rush you, but it won't stay safe for long.
I understand. I've done this before in waking dreams. In the pool, I'll find the bracelet of seeds she dropped when she fell. The seeds will be split, escaped, grown wild. She's passing from my memory into the jungles. I'll tell her it was I who died here and became a stranger in our own land, and she who still lives in every time of planting, of rains, harvests, and... Oh.
What is it?
There. Her bracelet. And I thought she was behind me. But there's only my reflection.
Do you need to be alone?
For the first time, I am.
Whew. A little longer, and I'll be used to it. Sure. Can't be too prepared. This must be the sun's climb, where the Banuk wants to paint his mark. Okay, Aloy, now what? Down you go!
You are a better hunter than I. I'll paint the mark while the spirits of the Glinthawks linger.
There'll be more where they came from.
Yes, there will always be more machines. Their spirits find new bodies, but we only last as long as memory. That's why I must leave this story. A monument to our vanished shamans, to the wisdom the Carja bled from us. The machine oil in the paint will preserve it. Preserve their memory against all that was cut away. You have my thanks, Hunter.
The scrapes. Not built for mountain climbing, huh? Stocking up. Should dismount. I'll get enough strange looks as it is.
Hardly any Nora left. Massacre, if you can believe it.
Someone has a plan for victory, and it better be us. Nice to rest.
rising in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge, a real lady would never be a hunter.
Arrested too for disorderly.
Yes, the machines grow more dangerous.
Meridian. Couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
Erand said to meet him at the Sun Palace. Now might be the time.
Tell you what I like. The sound of a hammer on steel. Smoke and sweat.
Back from the wilds. Find any Banuk relics? Come on back if you find any Banuk goods. I'd like to discuss a trade with you, Outlander. Found any Banuk relics in the wilds, Outlander?
It'll crush me with the flick of its tail.
Able-bodied adventurers, preferably with no friends or family, but I'm not choosy.
That must be the spire. It's huge. So you've come back to the temple.
I was invited back. The priests wanted to hear what I had to say about reconciliation with the other tribes. They're listening. At least they've begun to listen. There's a distance between ears and heats.
Because of what we did?
What you did.
It was for the mourners. I think it helped them.
You set them on the path. You can't know what their journeys hold. Such is the priest's lot. Perhaps a red robe would suit you.
Not me. Besides, your temple doesn't even take women.
We would be richer if we did. Go in light, my friend, and let the sun cast your way.
Thank you, Naman. Where I'm going, I could probably use all the light I can get.
Can I interest you in a reasonable share of a lucrative opportunity?
I have a matter of grace and beauty I would like to discuss with you. Ah, you're back. Did you bring me something lovely? Till we meet again, my noble Nora. Everyone needs a splash. Of color in their lives. Come, let's talk it over.
Good to see you.
Greetings, Aloy. I am known as Blameless Marad. Please come with me. You're needed for an important consultation.
What do you mean? Where's Erand?
He's inside, attending the Sun King, where we should be without further delay. Follow me, please.
All of these people are here to see the Sun King.
Yes, and each has come to ask a favor of him. Unpleasant, but that's politics. The Sun King is eager to meet you, the machine tamer with a curious eye for detail. It's all very intriguing.
I'm not here to intrigue you.
Too late.
Unacceptable. I've been here for 2 hours, and this Nora goes to the front of the line.
Ignore them. Nobles are like children who whine when they don't get a second helping of dessert.
What's the Sun King like?
The most important thing is what he isn't like. His father. I think you'll find him to be a reasonable man.
Aloy of the Nora. She who sees the unseen. Welcome. It would seem you have done me a great service. Erand, tell her what you found.
I checked Ursa's tomb. You were right, Aloy. The body is missing a scar below her right knee. I gave it to Ursa when we were kids, fighting over a toy sword.
If the body is not Ursa's, then we must assume she is still alive. And I will not abandon her.
We only know she was taken, not who took her.
I can help with that. Ursa has an enemy among the Oseram. A warlord named Dervahl.
Impossible. Every clan in the claim has been hunting for him since the liberation. He has to be dead by now.
No other Oseram had the motive and ingenuity to lure Ursa into this trap. I expect to find him lurking somewhere near the border. I've already sent an agent to investigate. He'll be waiting for word from us at the marketplace in Pitchcliff.
I can't move troops to the border without provoking the Oseram. But I could send a few vanguardsmen. And perhaps an exceptionally gifted Nora as well. Erand, Marad, let me discuss it with her privately. I hate to impose further after all you've done, but this is a matter of great importance to me.
It sounds like Ursa means a lot to you.
Without her Oseram vanguard, I would not have been able to liberate Meridian and end my father's brutal reign. Since then, it has been difficult to maintain peace between our tribes. But Ursa has a way of making her people see reason. So you see, I need her back at my side. And quickly.
Who is Dervahl exactly?
To understand Dervahl, you must first understand my father. He truly thought of himself as a sun god. His mind was broken. He believed that blood sacrifice would solve, well, everything. So he raided the other tribes for victims, especially the Oseram. Dervahl fought back. He crafted powerful weapons and rallied his people. My father responded with the ultimate cruelty. He captured Dervahl's wife and daughter and sacrificed them in the Sun Ring.
So, why would Dervahl go to so much trouble to kidnap Ursa?
He felt she betrayed him. She fought by his side until she realized he planned to raise Meridian and butcher its people. Then she came to me. Together, we stopped him and liberated the city from my father. Dervahl has spent every moment since trying to get revenge. Mostly on the other Oseram who fought with us. He made so many powerful enemies, I thought we'd seen the last of him. I was wrong.
I'd like to ask you something about the Sundom and its politics.
By all means.
They call you a sun god who killed his own father in order to unite the tribes in harmony. Is any of it true?
They say you can see the invisible, split an arrow at 50 paces, and tame machines at a glance. How much of that is true?
It's not too far off.
Well, I would like to unite the tribes in harmony, but you saw how many courtiers I have to deal with first. Maybe next week.
Quite a place you've got here. You can almost see the little people below the mesa.
You don't approve? Well, I have a secret for you. Neither do I. But we must be patient. Change won't come in a single sunrise.
But will it happen at all, while men live in palaces?
It might. Eventually. If people like you help me bring it about.
Your politics seem very complicated. The Oseram are friends, but enemies too?
I couldn't have liberated Meridian without the help of Ursa and her Oseram freebooters. Many of them have settled here. But the Ealdormen of the Oseram clans in the Claim have become jealous of their success. So have many Carja nobles. It's a volatile situation, especially given the fact that my father raided the Oseram for years. Ursa helps keep the peace, promising a future based on mutual gain. But some, like Dervahl, will never let go of their venom.
What can you tell me about the Shadow Carja? What do they have to do with Ursa?
They are remnants of my father's regime, holding out at the fortress of Sunfall to the west. Like him, they care only for domination, and seek to draw upon the power of the sun by spilling blood in its name. Since Ursa helped me take this city from them, they were perfect scapegoats. Dervahl knew this, of course, and planned it well.
I need to get going.
I know. Well, they say kings should never beg. But please, help me find Ursa.
Who says that?
Well, Murad, for one. Don't hesitate to ask him or Erand if you have further questions.
The founding of Meridian. We are Carja, and us is the blood of those led by Erand from the persecution and pursuit so long ago. Out of the far savage east we came, guardians of the treasure greater than land or metal, the leaves of the old ones. Erand found the leaves in a ruin, picked out by a beam of sunlight, and he recognized at once their importance. Within was etched the first teachings of how to observe the sun, to recognize its guidance, and to understand the place of man. From out of the leaves came the first glyphs, the first writing, so our knowledge could last longer than voices. But when our forefathers offered to share this gift, they were driven out by those who had once called tribesfolk. These ones feared to have the light of knowledge brought to bear on their ignorance, or were jealous of its power. And so began the long wandering of our people, trusting only the sun would guide them and deliver them from the barbarian tribes. The path was hard and marked by the stones of families who fell along the wayside, even Ahriman's own. The persecution was unceasing. For those without purpose, only the desires to debase and destroy. But the faith of the Carja was rewarded with a distant vision, a tower like the solid ray of sun holding on the horizon, flashing. Even as their enemies descended upon them, Ahriman followed the flight of the Glinthawks, leading his people through the looming canyons and teeming jungles. Again they saw the tower, so close now it seemed that within reach of the very sun itself, and they saw that the Glinthawks perched upon it. Beheld in the light of the sun, the tower, the spire, cast its long shadow upon the mesa in the verdant valley. Ahriman knew he had found a haven for the tribe, as this was a place shunned by those without faith, who cowered from the magnificence of the spire or the shining feathers of the Glinthawks. He named this place Meridian, from a passage in the leaves, and the tribe settled in the protection of the great mesa. They found the site was blessed in every respect, carving their cliff houses from the bounteous resources, and in time from the red rock of the mesa itself, crowning it with the first columns of the cities of the sun. Truly the sun gave much to the descendants of our forefathers, granting Meridian great harvests and prosperity and the bounds of the sundom for as far as the light touched. In time, seeing the Meridian shielded us from the dark arrows and plots of our foes, other foreigners brought trade and tribute. Holy Meridian, without spire and sun, there'd be no Meridian, but now and forevermore it stands as a monument to both. And the glory of Ahriman and the founders is reflected anew in each Sun King of the Radiant line and the noble houses of the Sun Court.
Aloy, how can I be of service?
It's obvious that you're an advisor to the Sun King, but what is it you do exactly?
Whatever is needed, of course.
Are you always so evasive?
It depends.
You were right about Avad. He seems genuine.
He is the Sun King. I serve him the best I can. What else would you have me say?
Huh. Did you serve the last one as best you could, too?
Well, I served him to his enemies. It was the best I could do for the Sundom.
What did you do?
Nothing I could be blamed for.
Sounds to me like you're a spy.
There are many helpful voices in the Sundom and beyond. I like to think of myself as a good listener.
So why do they call you Blameless Maraud?
Well, it depends on who you mean by they, and what they might wish to blame me for.
Talking to you is tiring.
So they say.
What will I find at the border?
An outpost full of Oseram, most of whom want nothing to do with Dervahl. Still, he inspires great loyalty in those who fought with him against the last Sun King. He will not be caught alone. And don't forget, he is a master craftsman. Nothing delights him more than his dangerous toys.
What makes you so sure Dervahl did this to Ursa?
I don't care for sure or certain. I prefer likely or probably. How many Oseram are clever enough for this ruse? Capable of building the weapon you described? Who hate Ursa so? More than one? Not likely. Dervahl? Quite probably.
Even if people think he's dead?
That is surely another reason to be suspicious of certain words.
I have to go.
Then you must.
The Chronicle of the Sun Kings. The founder Erand, who guided our forefathers to the shadows of the savage east, into the fastness of the Mesa Valley, and who, reading the signs of the sun and shadow both, delivered them to the sight of Holy Meridian. The bounteous Amavad, who oversaw the clearing and the sowing of the royal maize lands, so that none who walked in the sun's favor should go hungry again, who cut back the jewel to claim the rich eastlands for the first houses of the Sun Court. The far-seeing Sanahin, who expanded the sun's dominance to the north, south, east, and setting a gate at Bright Market Harbor, and who before the sun at its highest proclaimed that these lands would be known as the Carja Sundom, so by the light it was good. The generous Juadan, who stocked the metal markets with the spoils of his own trampler hunts, and who allowed trade from the north and south, even permitting outlanders the gift of the countless glyphs, so they might understand more than simple barter. Zavarad, the pilgrim Sun King, whose tower was raised to the top of the ridge of Vales, and who crossed the great waters of the daybreak, so the Sundom might extend even further, and to honor this passage and the great blazoned arch raised on the far shores. Bold Iriv, who saw the sun's passing into the west as a challenge and forged after it with a great army to be pushed back 3 times at the great canyonlands that would be known as the Daunt, until the 4th time his cohort broke through and were vanished in the lands beyond. Prudent Basid, who had the mantle of his fallen brother thrust upon him suddenly, who ordered the construction of the fortress of the Sunfall and the garrisons at Blazon Arch, declaring the land beyond it the forbidden west, where only the sun may go. Kuvadin, the returner, who strove to bring civilization to the savage east, but returned after many strenuous endeavors, saying it was no longer fit for the people of the sun, and called for the building of a great towers and walls so that this wild land might be observed safely. Renan, the firebird, who saw the Sundom suffer unprovoked attack by the Tinech horde, and who, against the protests of his advisors, accompanied his army to confront them. Under the sun he claimed victory, though he was so greatly scarred he wore his blazoned helmet from that day. Nahasis, who was a hunter as much as the Sun King, and called for the proudest men of the noble houses to prove themselves in competition beneath the sun, and those who felled the greatest machines would be situated as the first Sun Hawk and Hawks of the Hunter's Lodge. The illuminated Marzid, who the sun visited with vision so vivid and grand he commissioned many statues and frescoes of his visage of Meridian, for his summer palace in Sunfall had the great citadel raised, where he remained painting until he took deathly ill from his own pigments. Hivas, elder brother of Marzid, who decreed each family with a suitable male child should submit that child in service of the Sundom's then depleted ranks, and had the artisans turn their attention from works of art to outfitting each soldier of the sun with the very finest armor, halberd, and bow. Giron, who in his early years was a strong Sun King, defending the Sundom from the encroachment of the other tribes and the derangement of the machines, but who became greatly addled and ordered the spilling of much blood in the sun's name, threatening to bring a twilight time upon us. Avad, the liberator. Reign of the Mad Sun King. Be warned, reader, that this is a true account of the Mad Sun King Jiran's acts. These glyphs are blotted in blood. Truly, the savageries committed can barely be recounted, so pray to the cleansing sun for yourself and the teller of these tales. You'll learn of the grievous wounds inflicted on foreign lands and the reaping of sacrifice, the Red Raids. For the Mad Sun King would order a whole generation cut from each village, so they might more willingly supply sacrifices and be harder pressed to field fighting men for the next raid. Who sought to appease with gifts of grain were slaughtered in such number that upon the following harvest the maize grew black and blue with the blood of the dead. Against the Oseram, the terror of the sun piled the corpses of their fallen up to the walls of their villages, so as kestrels might clamor upon the dead to enter. And in the valley of the barbarian Nora, terrors of the savage east, such savagery ensued that the trees were drooped with corpses hung as grim warnings. Should you wish to read of the Mad King's depredations against his own people, your curiosity would not go unsated. Within are the accounts of the deaths of those sentenced to the Sun Ring, listed in such detail you might think it reported by their own chattering skulls, once piled outside the city gates. Nor will you find a more harrowing account of his massacres of the Hunter's Lodge. Reading these accounts, you might imagine yourself among its brave hawks as they fought to the last, bloodying the sands from dawn till dusk, or perhaps in the crowds as they loose behemoths careen through the stands with the crashing of wood and bone. All this crazed bloodletting did the Mad Sun King take in with his pitiless gaze. Indeed, he would not even look away from the goring of his own son in that ring of death. Yes, fair-haired Kataman of the dawn's rising, so degraded and doomed for the crime of standing against his father. Such a true and complete account of the Mad Sun King Jiran's miseries cannot be found in the history annals or heard from the reckoners of the Sun Priests. It is with a heavy heart that I scribe these events, leaving out no shocking detail, but my debt is to history and to you, brave reader. The Liberation of Meridian. An official account is scribed by the reckoners of the Sun Priests and marked with the emblems of truth by exacting Varan, who witnessed these events. In the 21st year of the 13th Sun King Jiran's reign, the twilight time of his madness, the Sun King's own favored heir was put to death. The radiant Kataman's crime was to demand an end to the father's acts of bloodshed, and his sacrifice set that end in motion. Jiran's second heir, the radiant Avad, fled Meridian at dusk with his honor guard, soldiers loyal to him over the Sun King. All night they traveled northwards, knowing that come the dawn they would be branded as traitors and marked for death, so as that when Jiran made the proclamations that they had already traveled far, and in time they did reach the edge of the Sundom and crossed into Oseram territory. For Avad was canny and planned to negotiate terms with the Oseram. He knew he had an ally amongst them, Ursa, a fierce Oseram warrior with whom Avad had a long and unusual history. 2 years earlier, Ursa had been brought to Meridian as a captive destined for sacrifice, but she survived the Sun Ring, killing 2 kestrels by her own hand. Thus did she earn the honor of being made a palace slave, and in this role came to know Prince Avad. A rare friendship was formed, and Avad conspired to free his friend, who returned at once to the Oseram homeland. Now, desperate for allies, Avad sought out the Oseram he had helped to free. Ursa had ties to the warlords and freebooters who resisted the Red Raids. With Ursa's might and Avad's keen strategy, they could raise a warband and move to overthrow Giron. And as a rightful heir to the throne of the Sun, Avad hoped to inspire many of his people to rebel, so sparing Meridian from a drawn-out war. After months of preparation, Avad and his allies crossed the border and marched on Meridian. As word of their advance spread, many Carja soldiers fled to the city, laid down their arms, or even joined the liberators. Yet wise Avad knew that Giron's faithful would defend Meridian to the last man, even sacrificing the lives of its citizens if it held the holy city against the siege. He found kestrels and city guards already set in on the walls, ready to face arrow and shot. But Avad's Oseram allies had brought new weapons never seen beneath the sun. Thundering cannons, strong as machines. Avad permitted them to fire their salvos on the outer walls, bringing many defenders down with great carnage. As the smoke cleared, the liberators attacked in 3 groups. One scaled the walls beneath the Temple of the Sun, another took to the aqueducts of the palace, while the main force overcame the barricaded city gates with cannon fire. These were the final blasts fired at the holy city, as Avad forbade any further destruction. In the streets, too many scenes of brutality and chaos played out to recount. Among the terrible miasma of blood and smoke, the sun-ringed slave pits were opened and hundreds spilled out, desperate to escape. Many of Giron's supporters seized their chance to flee with the flood of unfortunates. The day had turned, and seeing his forces much reduced, the Sun King Giron ordered his trusted kestrels to take Idamon, his sole remaining heir, from the city. Hellas, Terror of the Sun, cleaved a path through Meridian from east to west, striking down all in his way, ally and foe alike. The savagery of Hellas and his kestrels could not be matched, and so it was that Idamon, his mother, the Dowager Queen Nasadi, and the High Sun Priest Babas escaped. Avad confronted Giron in the Solarium. He had hoped his father would answer for his crimes honorably, but seeing this could not be so, with great anguish he struck him down. As the murder of a true Sun King is an unthinkable act, and surely would plunge the world into shadow, Giron's death proved that the Sun had renounced his legitimacy. Yes, the Sun turned to shadow on the throne of Meridian, and it was Avad's light that drove the shadow out to the west, where it remains to this day. So there was a cycle of the things corrected in this first year of the reign of the 14th Sun King, the Radiant Avad.
Fresh as it comes. It's done. They can't kill anyone else.
This'll last.
Nice. Glad I stopped for a bit.
I've seen this 4 times already.
This'll help. Useful. Save these for the trail. I'll find a use for you. these. And one of these. A fork. This must be where Nassan was supposed to check in.
The Turing Act criticized. 16-year-old Turing Act faces criticism from artificial intelligence rights activists or advocates. June 8, 2060, a group calling itself the Center for the Liberation of Bodiless Intelligence is organizing a nationwide day of protest against the Turing Act. The legislation hurriedly drafted in response to the escape of climate intervention AI Vast Silver established strict limits on the sentience of machine intelligence and founded the MIE, a regulatory body that oversees the development of the sale of AI. It remains unclear why the activists have waited until now to express opposition to a 16-year-old piece of legislation, but it's a statement released through their holosite, the CLBI, called the Turing Act the effective rebirth of state-sponsored slavery, too long unquestioned by a public with a shamefully biocentric view of sentience. The statement continues, The time has come to ask the hard questions about what it means to be a human in a post-biological world. Turing and its supporters are on the wrong side of history.
Behave yourself, girl. Don't start thinking you're welcome here. You're only tolerated.
It looks like there was a scuffle here, but no body. If someone dragged Nassan off, there should be tracks. Oh, here we are. Let's see where they went.
The sun has had its turn.
Don't let me die.
down. Don't let up. No more. Can't get any closer. Find the sun.
Maker's End. Not much farther now. Olin said he found an image of the woman I resemble on an ancient device. If she's my mother, why would there be traces of her all the way out here? So far from Noraland. I don't get it. Who is she?
Her name is Elizabeth Sobek.
You? Spying through my focus again?
Probably still got company. Look alive.
Well, go on. What do you know about her?
Stay on your present course, and before long, you'll know her as well as I do. Maybe better. But be wary. Maker's End is crawling with Eclipse troops. To help you deal with them, I've left some useful equipment just outside the ruins. Your focus will show the location.
Might need that. The Shadow Carja outpost. Let's hope Nassan is inside. That's right. No one here.
What was that?
I can always use these.
Nothing good can come of this place. Get the girl. They've gotten Hassan, all right. He needs help.
Let's try this again. I'll keep it simple since you're obviously feeble. What were you doing out by the fork?
It was a picnic. With your mother.
I think he's trying to hurt your feelings. Won't work. My mother loves a good picnic.
Be that as it may, we're not getting anywhere.
That's all right. I don't mind breaking a few of his bones.
How many do you think we'll have to crack to make him squeal?
He's got spirit.
What's that up there?
Might take 7.
All right. I'm taking wagers.
Don't mind me.
Search for the intruder, carefully.
She got up there in a hurry. Provoke the same rage. Fight back, damn you all! Anyone see anything? Can't have gotten far. Look around. Got eyes on him. You're not gonna die. Kill me.
They've gotten Hassan, all right. He needs help.
Let's try this again.
So-called king of
I'll keep it simple since you're obviously
to the
feeble.
Outlanders we nearly conquered.
What were you doing out by the fork?
It was a picnic. With your mother.
I think he's trying to hurt your feelings.
Won't work. My mother loves a good picnic.
Be that as it may, we're not getting anywhere.
That's all right. I don't mind breaking a few of his bones.
How many do you think we'll have to crack to make him squeal?
He's got spirit. Might take 7.
All right. I'm taking wagers.
The ceasefire is but a trick, so we can attack under cover of Shadow.
Let's try this again. I'll keep it simple since you're obviously feeble. What were you doing out by the fork?
It was a picnic. With your mother.
I think he's trying to hurt your feelings.
Won't work. My mother loves a good picnic.
Be that as it may, we're not getting anywhere.
That's all right. I don't mind breaking a few of his bones.
How many do you think we'll have to crack to make him squeal?
He's got spirit. Might take 7.
All right. I'm taking wagers.
Surround the Forsaken! bleed before the sun! Lost them!
Kindev sent me. Let's get you out of here.
I thought that old salt had abandoned me. Guess I owe him a slap on the back. Come on, this way.
Kindev told me about the cause. Did you lose the shipment?
No. It's hidden nearby. There's a lot of hungry people in Sunfall that will be happy to see it.
Good. Now, listen. When you head back to Meridian, talk to a noble named Ravan. If you're honest with him, I think he'll help.
Beg a high blood for help? Ugh. But after everything you've done, I can't refuse. But for now, I'm bound for Sunfall. Be safe.
Save this for later. Tough, but I'm used to it. I'll tuck that away. A fork. This must be where Nassan was supposed to check in. That'll keep my stomach quiet. Machines. Just stay out of their way for now.
Who Did This, number 86. Hacked AI are just about the best thing ever. August 1st, 2061. Hola, Holoscapers, to the motherlode of hackety-hack AIs. This week on allseeing.holo, user Cannibal Christmas Tree uploaded his delightful compilation Holo, non-interactive sadly, counting down the greatest moments in the history of janked AI. Error exception number 42A7C, hyperlink undefined. If time is at a premium, skip to 6 minutes and 22 seconds to see an increasingly belligerent Faro Store customer service AI insists that every customer's name is Admiral Horatio Potato Face. LOLMVGSHKLL.
This bit.
Crush me with a flick of its tail.
Everyone's lost a cousin or friend to the machines. More in recent times.
Oh, wonderful.
Watch out for the Asaron merchants.
Meridian. Couldn't imagine living anywhere else.
Won't cost you a shard just to look. Don't pass up these goods. Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
A man named Nassan came to see me, and we came to an arrangement. I think many in Sunfall will benefit from it. All this from a stolen sword. As they say, follow the shadow, and you'll find a flame.
Okay, I think I'm going to wind up calling it a night here, because it's actually been longer than I thought it would be. Ooh, 2.5 hours. Okay. Longer than I thought it would be. Oops. So pretty much we did a couple side quests, just rescuing a guy who'd been lost when bandits had attacked, and then also wound up getting a sword. Actually, it was all part of the, I think it might have been one quest, or, oh yeah, also the priest quest to help the 3 people in mourning. So it was like I knocked out 2 of the side quests, and from there I might wind up doing this. This Moment's Peace is also level 12, which is the next lowest of all my actual quests. So I might do that one the next time. The only problem is with doing this one, it's going to take me all the way back to the Nora lands, which I do need to make a stop in for a few items here and there, like these collectibles, this corrupted zone, that collectible, so that collectible. So yeah, I'll probably wind up going here and see what that gets for me. But it's going to be a nightmare tagging this one. But yeah, so that'll probably be what I do next time. But all right, so I'm going to cut on out. Oops, actually probably will want to find the fire pit. There we go. And save, just in case. It seems to be pretty good about saving when you complete quest items, but that's to be sure. Well, everyone, you have a good one. Bye.